So, I want to talk today about the benefits of being self-conscious. Now, people talk about self-conscious and they say that it's a bad thing. You shouldn't be self-conscious. Like, you shouldn't be, walking into a room being scared. Am I okay? Is everybody looking at me? And that's what they call self-conscious. But I define being self-conscious completely differently than most people. And it comes back from a book called Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. Now, what this guy was actually is he wasn't a philosopher and he wasn't a psychologist, but he talked about motivation. He talked about the inner workings of the mind. He talked about basically, philosophy and psychology. And the reason he came up to this is because he was a plastic surgeon by trade. Okay, and what he noticed is somebody would either be born with a feature that was, unattractive, or maybe they were in an accident and they had some scarring or some damage, so they had a damaged face and they were unattractive. And what he noticed is if somebody had lived with a physical disfigurement for a certain amount of time, he would make them beautiful, make them really, fix their faces up, make them look perfect. And they'd be like looking in the mirror and they'd be like, well, I don't feel different. It's like, what do you mean? I did a great job. It's like, no, you did a great job. And I look completely different, but I don't feel different. And that's when he, started delving into that. He started coming up with a concept of psycho-cybernetics, okay? Why is it that you identify yourself as someone with a big, ugly nose? You identify yourself as someone with a big scar across your face. Take away the scar, sculpt your nose perfectly, you're beautiful, but you still identify yourself as, the person that's ugly. So it doesn't matter what you look like, you're still acting and believing and causing others to believe you're ugly, even though you're not. So what I want to talk today about is something that he mentioned in his book, and he was talking about, are you self-conscious or are you others conscious? And that's how I define being self-conscious. Self-conscious, when you think about it, means really, are you conscious of yourself? Okay? Others conscious is what most people define self-conscious as being, which means you're conscious of the others around you instead of conscious of yourself. So let's talk about this in terms of fitness. When you go ahead and you're trying to get in your workout, okay, are you self-conscious? You should be. You should be self-conscious. You should be, how does my body feel? How do my muscles feel? Am I well hydrated? Okay? Am I getting the proper pre-workout nutrition? Am I stretched out? Are my muscles warmed up? Okay? Mind-muscle connection when you do your workouts. When you do your workouts, do you feel the muscles you're trying to activate being activated? Do you intentionally, are you self-conscious of which muscles are being fired and which muscles are not? Okay, that's being self-conscious, and that's a good thing. You should always be self-conscious. You should always be conscious of what yourself is doing. But you shouldn't be others conscious. You shouldn't go into the gym and being others conscious. Am I wearing the right clothes? What are the people? Are the people looking at me? Am I doing the exercises that other people think are cool? If I do this exercise, are people going to laugh at me? What happens if I try to do this exercise and I fail? What happens if I try to do a personal best on my bench press and I fail? Is somebody going to laugh at me? What happens if I, go away from like the Nautilus machines and I try to use free weights and I'm not as strong as anybody and everybody in the free weight room is bigger than me, so are they going to laugh at me? That is being others conscious, okay? So using my definition or Maxwell Maltz's definition of what it means to be self-conscious, I want you to go ahead and try to be as self-conscious as possible. Be as conscious of yourself and what yourself is doing as possible, and be as little others conscious as possible. Because at the end of the day, if you are self-conscious and if you're conscious of what you're doing, you are going to get results. And results are what other people are going to be conscious of. You don't have to be others conscious because that will take care of itself. If you're self-conscious, and if you succeed in every area of your life, other people are going to be conscious of that, and you really don't need to help them to be conscious of you.